Okay, in this session comes the chain of logic that I hope you will enjoy. We're going to prove that along this long path in the parse tree, there has to be a variable that gets repeated at least once. Okay, but we'll prove that that has to be the case. Now, remember the bottom of the previous session. If you had a string that had a length that was greater or equal to little b to power h plus 1, then the height of that parse tree must be at least h plus 1. Okay, that was the end of the previous session. Now that's really important because we're going to use it. We're going to use it now. Okay, so let's now specify the pumping length. We'll actually give a number to it. Now remember, we define mod v here to be the number of variables in your grammar. Okay, you just count them up. That's mod v. Right, so we're going to specify, we're just going to state that your pumping length, little p, will be b. Remember little b, what's that? That's the maximum number of variables you have in the right-hand sides of all your rules. You look at all your rules and count the number of variables in each one, and the maximum number of those of symbols. You count the number of symbols on the right-hand side of all your rules, and the maximum number of symbols in a rule, that's little b. Okay, that's little b. Okay, so the pumping length, little p, is defined. Well, you specify it as little b raised to power mod v. In other words, well, I've said what little b is. It takes too long. And mod v is the number of symbols in your grammar. Okay, plus 1. All right. Now, from this, you can deduce that the length of the parse tree of your string must be greater or equal to this, because that's your h, right? That, you go back to what we just did. So now, what is h? That's the number of steps in your parse path. It's the number of steps in the path, going from the root node, the starting symbol, to your terminal symbol. All right. Okay, so if the length of your string is greater or equal to your pumping length, which is this, in other words, if the length of your string is greater than this, greater or equal to that, then the length of its path, how many layers below the starting symbol, must be this, like little h plus 1. Okay, so in other words, mod v plus 1. We don't have an h now; we have just mod v. So the parse tree, the length of the path, the long path in your parse tree, must be at least this, the equivalent of h plus 1. Well, you have h here, but h is now mod v. So the length of that path in the parse tree for your string must be at least this, greater or equal to mod v plus 1. Right? Remember that. Critical. Okay. Right? Now let tau here, let that be one of your parse trees. Okay? You have a particular parse tree and you just label it tau. With this little Greek letter T, tau. I know that because they're elementary particles, because I'm a physicist as well. Okay. Now, if you have several parse trees, then choose the parse tree that has the smallest number of nodes. Okay. Now, that's also critical. So keep that in your memory, right? So if your tau, if your parse tree for a given string, if there are several parse trees for that string, you can go different ways, different choices of expanding the order in which you use your substitution rules or whatever. So if you have more than one parse tree, choose the parse tree that has the smallest number of nodes. Okay, right. So tau is now our smallest parse tree. Now this parse tree must have at least this many steps. Right? Its depth, the number of steps involved in the parsing, the derivation, must be at least this many. Okay, and it'll have a path from the root node to the leaf. The depth, if you like, the number of steps, will be at least this much. Okay, the path length, the number of steps in your path, going from the root node, the root symbol, to the leaf, in other words, the terminal symbol, it must be at least this long, this many. Okay? Now, a path, it's a path, right? So the path goes from the root node, in other words, the terminal symbol, to the leaf node, the root node, the start symbol, to the leaf node, which is the terminal symbol. Okay, so if the depth, the number of steps is at least this, the number of nodes is one more, right? Because you start with a start node, right? If you just have one step, like you'd have a node here and a node here, and one step, so you have two nodes. And if you have like two steps, so you start here and then step one, step two, well, now you've got three nodes. So you'll always have one node more than the number of steps, or the depth of your path, the length of your path. Okay, so if the number of steps in your path is at least this, then the number of nodes in your path has to be at least one more than that. In other words, at least mod b plus 2. Okay? Now, so that's how many nodes in your path. Now what's a path in a parse string? What is a path? Well, you go from the start node. Sorry.